Hey guys, so we're just going to have a bit of a sort out here. I'm not sure what is inside these tubes. Well, I know it's sovereigns, but I just want to do a little count up. And Victoria, G and D, George and Dragon, which is all good. Ed and KGV, don't think so. Okay, they are Eds. So let's take a look what we got. So these are just bullion sovereigns that I've picked up in the past, and you know, New Year, decided to just have a little check through and sort out, see what we got in the stack. So this is a 1903S Sydney. This is Edward Sovereign. So the Edwards, they often get wear through the hair quite quickly, or quite frequently. It's the higher point. You know, if you're losing an ear, then that's quite a bit of wear as well. So if you are buying an Edward, ideally, you know, you want a nice bit of detail there. We've got a 1906 next, and again, just King Edward. So King Edward's on sovereigns from 1902 to 1910. Quite a little, quite a nice, easy date run to get. A little, you know, range of years. We've got 1910 here itself, and again should be Edward on the back. So these are relatively nice condition. They're just, like I say, just bullion coins. I've not paid a particular premium for them. One thing to note on here, if you look where the dragon's belly is, see how it's just a bit more worn there. So this one would be a bit more worn than, let's compare it to, say, the first one. So if you look here, you see these almost like a couple of ridges here on the belly, whereas here you've got the ridges at the bottom, but the sort of a flat spot there. So that's one place you can look. Next, you can look at the sword on the top of the horse there, and that's usually pretty good. But the leg is another place. So again, the leg here looks pretty good. The leg's got a bit more wear on this one. But yeah, the first place I tend to notice is the dragon's belly there starts to wear. So we just flick them both over. We might see that one has a bit more detail than the other. Might not be much in it. Yeah, similar, you know, but there is just that little bit more detail on this one in the hair there, on the top of the head more so than behind the ear. So yeah, not a bad coin at all. You know, bullion condition still, but just one way you can look and see. So this is a 1904, and this again is a Sydney, I think. Looks like an S mint mark. So the mint mark I'm looking at is just up here. So on the ground, just below the horse's hoof. It's very, very small. Pretty sure it's an S. But yeah, it's ideal looking through a loop is easier. Or if you've got a camera with a super macro mode, you can have a look on there. This one is more pronounced. You can see it's a 1907S. And again, if I just tilt the coin away there, you see the S in that same place. I do have a few 1907S's which I got in a little batch. This is 1902, and again an S, I think. Never really paid much attention to the mint marks on Edward. On George V, I trying to, you know, work my way through them. Some of them are very high premium, probably not ones you're going to get hold of very quickly for for any kind of bullion price. That was another 1907S, by the way. This is 1906, again with an S, I think. Oh, I see a George, so we've got an extra George there, and this is the other 1907S. So this is a George 1918. And this is an I for India, so nice. I'm actually doing a bit of a stock take lately, and I'm a George up, so that's good to know. Interesting about the 1918, the I mint mark is only available on the 1918 from those years. There are the more recent PAMP gold sovereigns, which they come, and they are from 2014 onwards, and there's a few of those which are you know, minted with the I mint mark, but they're like the modern sovereigns. So with King George V, you're only looking at the 1918 with the Indian mint mark. So now I've got a few Victorias. You'll notice on these are the Victoria, George and Dragon. So they go from 1871 to 1887, and this is 1886. What you'll notice with these is that the orientation of the coin is different. So you'll flip it this way rather than rotating it like you would for some of the other years. So George, Edward, etc., more modern ones, you'll rotate this way, and the Young Victoria, Shield, etc., you'll rotate this way. So yeah, something to be wary of there. Let's put George here. Let's just move these back over so you can see them. There we go. And yeah, these should all be Young Victorias, so let's just have a slightly quicker look. So on these you've got the mint mark on the back. So there is an S for Sydney, and 1887, so that's the last minted year of Young Victoria. Then we went on to the older Jubilee head, and then obviously the actual old or veiled or widowed head of Victoria as well. So yeah, 1887 there, nice enough. And yeah, there's going to be a few duplicates in here, I guess, because I think there's more than the years are. 1884, also interesting. These years are also in shields as well. So if you're doing a date run with the dates, then you need a shield and you need a George and the Dragon. So yeah, that's just, well, it's a good thing really, isn't it? It means you get to get more gold and you're still doing the same date run. That's another 1887. I've got more than one of those. Didn't really realise that, but interesting. Got a Melbourne mint mark there. So again, just looking under here, you can also see the engraver's initials, which are just on the base of the neck there. You might just about be able to see on the video. So you've got the M on the bottom, and then you've got WW, and these ones are protruding from the coin. The opposite of that is the incused ones. So there are some varieties there which some collectors are keen on collecting. Personally, don't pay too much attention to them, but if you're interested, the Marsh Sovereign Book and the Steve Hill Sovereign Book is one to look at. Let's see what we've got here. We've got an 1880 again. So they are a nice sovereign. You know, they've got the nice colour. You do tend to find they have a bit more wear. They were issued, you know, in circulation still, whereas the King George V sovereigns, there's only the first few years of those circulated, and then obviously after that they've not been, you know, in circulation the same. So if you can find some nice Queen Victoria young head sovereigns, you know, I think they're a very popular option. Recently we've seen the Gillick sovereigns being popular, which is like one of the young Elizabeth portraits, and yeah, a popular option. So we now got one with a big ding in it. I'm just kidding, it's not too bad, but yeah, ideally don't want to be throwing them across the room. And let's just see what that one is that we dropped. 1872. So yeah, we've got a few more here just to have a quick look at. I'll just go through these a little bit quicker. So we've got another 1884 there. That is with the Sydney mint mark. We have an 1872, and that is with Sydney mint mark. 1876 with Sydney mint mark. 1879 Melbourne mint. 1874 Melbourne mint. 1871, so that's the first year again, and no mint mark, London. So yeah, no mint mark is London. There is no L mint mark for London. And 1878 we have another M. So that is yeah, a nice batch of sovereigns. Hopefully you've enjoyed having a look at those today, and like I say, just doing a little bit of a stock take, seeing what I've got, and yeah, I do have a few other Young Victoria sovereigns that are in tubes, in capsules. I also have obviously the shields, which you've seen on another video earlier at New Year. That was quite popular. A few people said they really enjoyed that one, so I thought I'd do a similar one with you today. But yeah, beautiful old gold sovereigns. I didn't realise I had as many Edwards as that, to be honest, but I think, well, there is a few more actually in capsules, which is why they're not all there. But we'll pop those back. And yeah, let me know, have you got a favourite mint? Have you got a favourite monarch? Have you got a favourite kind of sovereign? Maybe a favourite special design? Let me know, and we'll talk in the comments.